Okay, no, okay. Why don't you go find Penny? I know, go find Penny. Do you want to come up and say hello? Mr. Sheldon. Oh, I don't like doing this. No. You get up there. It seems... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, it seems that Sheldon, if we get too many drives stacked up, whoa, it's too high for him. Hello, Sheldon. Careful. Careful. There, we've got Mr. Sheldon. Oh, yes. Aren't you full of purrs today? Yes. So I was just about to start to record the screen, but I think I have to be just a little bit higher with the iPod Touch. So I have to find not much of anything, but just a little bit of something to put underneath or in the pile of the Commodore power supply and the pad of paper and the useless Commodore joystick, except it does have a use. I can use it as a tripod. Okay, Mr. Sheldon. Oh. Okay. You know what? I gotta get on with this. Yes, I do. I've got to start recording things. Yes, I do. Okay. Nice kitty. Okay. Why don't you go find Penny? Why don't you go find Penny? Okay? You're gonna go find Penny? You're gonna go find Penny? I know. I know. Where's your belly? Okay. 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 Oh, yes, Sheldon. Yes, Sheldon. Okay. But Sheldon. I've got to sort out this problem. So Sheldon, I'm going to gently put you down here. Okay, watch those clawed feet. Okay, there we go. There we go. Thank you. Okay, bye, Sheldon. Bye-bye. He's not leaving, of course. So, as I was saying, I need to find a little something, but not much of anything, to get, hello Sheldon, the iPod Touch just a little higher. Okay, Sheldon, don't go over there. No. Come on, Sheldon. Come on, Sheldon. Let's go. Sheldon. No, Sheldon. Come on, Sheldon. Oh, I gotta work here. There you go. Huh. Well, here, this is a plate. Came out of a dual drive. I think an 8050. It's something that goes, oh, looky, the screen. I can use that. There's the screen. Something that goes above one of the drives, if I remember rightly. So what am I going to do is I'm going to take that, I'm going to put it on top of the power supply. Here, I'll show you. Ooh, this is our tripod. One Commodore power supply, one Canadian Forces pad, and now part of an 8050 disk drive. And then never forget the Commodore joystick. And I put it a little bit on an angle so I can use the big flat side. So let's see how that lines it all up. Well, I'm not sure yet. I think I'm going to move back just a little wee bit. Just a little wee bit. I think what I'm finding here is the Commodore joystick is moving ever so slightly. As it will do. Well, one thing I suppose I can do, because it looks like a bit of the monitor's missing, I can try moving the monitor back just a little bit. Let's see here. The other thing I noticed is that it was just a little off kilter the other day, and it still is a little off kilter. Maybe the joystick is not going to serve me well. I will try turning it differently here. Let's see if we can get the screen better. Okay. That might look okay. I'm going to try. Here we go. Okay, so we are now live on the screen and here. So what we're going to do today, what I have here is a disc that I made a long time ago, although it does look to me that this is not the original version of this disc. This disc, it looks like someone else has done something to it. I'm not too sure. I seem to remember I had more comments and things, but let me just look. I'm going to load list asterisk comma 8. If you see, one of the biggest things on the disk is what's called the listme file. And I have not looked at this for a long time. Oh, never drink around computers. It's just asking for trouble. So I am loading the listme file, which is 43 blocks. And it sounds like it was, okay, so I'm going to list it slowly. Oh yeah, this is back when it was at 1912 Avenue Road. Oh yeah, here's the listme, written by David Bradley. So this is all kinds. So funny. I think the best thing to do with the listme file is to print it. It is not really formatted for a 40 column screen, but it sure is long. So, and the listme file was made up quite simply of a program full of RAM, remark statements, which basically good programmers put these things into programs so that when going back you can give people a clue of what it is you were trying to do. They don't do anything except take up a little space and offer a little advice for the people coming after you. Hello? Hello? Oh. Oh dear. Hello, Mr. Sheldon. Hello. Well, it seems that before even I were to get started today, I have my little friend Sheldon here. Hello, Sheldon. Okay, Mr. Sheldon. We'll give you a nice belly rub. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. So, today, after we finish with Mr. Sheldon here, yes, hello, Sheldon. What we're going to do is look over a disc that I had made years and years ago when I was the librarian for T-Bug. This is when, oh golly, when T-Pug was on Ebony Road, 1912A Ebony Road. Isn't that right, Mr. Sheldon? And this was the first utility disc I made. And funny story, many years later, I was sitting in my computer store in Florida, and this fellow, who was fairly new to the Commodore 64, came in, and he had this disc, and he didn't know what to do with it, and he was all curious. And so I said, well, let's have a look, because he was still, he was trying to learn and all. And anyway, loaded up the directory and all, and there it was. It was a disc that I had made. And I said, yes, I am familiar with this disc. And we started from there. Okay, Mr. Sheldon. Mr. Sheldon. Okay. Mr. Sheldon, yes, I know. Big, okay, we knocked over the iPod. Okay. Okay, no, Sheldon. Nice kitty. Okay, yes, I know. But I gotta get working here. Yes, I do. Here you go. Go find Penny. Go find Penny. So, oh, I hear a cat. Okay, come on up here. I was going to start on the disc here. The iPod Touch has fallen. Okay, Sheldon, yes, I got to get the... There we go. So we will stop recording on that. We will set it up again. Sheldon, that's my arm you're knocking. Alright, so we will take the iPod Touch. We will once again set it up on the joystick. Just Andrew, sorry. Sheldon, that's my arm, please. No. You're gonna knock things down again. Okay, you just sit back there. Thank you, Sheldon. Sit back there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna load quote $ quote comma 8 and load the directory. No, Sheldon, thank you. Sheldon, thank you. I know. Just a moment, put that back. And then we will list, and of course, it will go by quite quickly. There are lots of things on here, some of which I have used, some of which I have not. But long ago, I would have tested them all to make sure they're all good. So on a lot of TPUG disks way back when, the first thing there was a list.me file. And we worked very hard on making the list.me files helpful. So that if you had something you weren't sure about, or you wanted to know what something did, that there would be some sort of clue in there, and typically in the order of the directory. The best thing with the list.me file, if you come across a disk like this, is to print it, because it is not formatted for a 40-column screen, or if you're on a 128, load it in and look at it on the screen, it'll look better. So, what I think I want to do, we'll load the list.me file for a second. And of course, I'm not going to type all that in. I'm going to do list asterisk comma 8. Oops. Now, beware. I shifted for the asterisk. I did not need to. There it is. So we're just going to load. Now, the list.me file on this disk is quite extensive. It is 43 blocks in length. Many hours went into that. Let me just check how we're doing here. So the listme file has loaded, and we'll go slowly. Now, and the listme file is made up of remark statements. So it really doesn't do anything, except if you do type in run, there's a command that tells it to list, so it will list for you. So, there's the listme file. Now, there are many things here. And it is kind of hard to read like this, but you know what I want to try and do is, I'll just let that go through. I'm going to make sure I have a blank disk here, which I do. This disk I use many times, because I'm going to load the directory again. And remember, if you load the directory, whatever you have in memory is gone. Gone. So don't load the directory and think your program's going to be there. Because what I want to do is I want to load the 1541 backup. And you see what I did? I didn't want to type all that in. And to make sure I get it exactly right, I move up, I type load, I move across, I put in comma 8, I put in a colon, otherwise it'll think there's something that PRG thing wants to do. And there isn't. And then it will load. Now, it's funny, there are, sometimes there are even things I don't remember about what it was. I was looking at this before, and when I run it will clear the screen, and it'll come up with these options. Backup command. And there are different ways of doing a backup of a disk, and I'm going to pick B. Maybe I'll pick A. What does A say? No, it does not work. B. BAM, select backup. Destination. I'll say backup. Now, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this disk out of here in case it suddenly jumps into action, which I'm sure it isn't going to. But I'm going to see. Okay. Enter disk ID. Oh yes, disk ID. Well, we'll say that's BK for backup. Insert destination disk into the drive. Oh yes, this is, I seem to remember, it's very friendly about making sure we don't do bad things. So now it is formatting the destination disk. And I'm just going to have a look in here. Well, we seem to be missing just a widow bee bit of the top of the screen. I'm going to be ever so gentle and careful. Still doesn't look quite bang on. But anyway, so it is now formatting. Now, remember, this is what life was like when we had a Commodore 64, a monitor, and one disk drive. Which is what most people had, because these things were not cheap. So in order to back up a disk, you couldn't just pop, like with the old PET days when you had the dual drive, you couldn't just pop it in and say backup D0 to D1. It took a little more time and effort. So it is formatting the disk, and we are waiting to respond to our next operator intervention. Of which it should be coming soon. We want to insert, okay, and the disk status is okay. See, it gives us a little error, not error things, or lack of error things. So we take the source disk. Now it doesn't tell us what to do, but I'm going to hit return. And it is now reading the BAM from the source disk, which is the block allocation map. Aha, verify source disk for backup. Okay. So, it is now reading stuff from the disk into the buffer. Now, of course, the disk holds about 170K, the computer not so much. So there will be a little disk swapping involved here. But sometimes, oh, it seems to be going along quite well. Nothing wrong with swapping from time to time. But this is what we had to do. This is much more, as slow and as painful as this seems. Can you imagine when we just worked on cassette tapes? Basically, with a cassette tape, what I would do is if I was writing something that was important, I would write it, I would save it onto a tape, I would let it do its thing, and then I would get another tape, and I would save it again. Maybe even 3 times. So, the buffer is going along, and let's see. Oh no, I think I might hear Sheldon in the distance. I am not sure. So as you see, this is, oh, it is still reading data into buffer. So I thought that maybe it would do a little bit, and so, but anyway, it seems that the buffer, however big it is, oh, the buffer is changing colors. So this program was written by someone named Michael Schaff. I might have met him, I don't know, I don't remember. He might have worked at Commodore, he might not have. But this program, for us, way, way back when, was mighty handy. Okay, I think soon the buffer is going to be full. It is full. So we will do as instructed, and we will insert the destination disk. And we will hit enter, or sorry, return. And what is the difference between enter and return? Different machines, different companies. Oh, look, the buffer is emptying. Isn't that magical?
You don't know the power of the dark side.
So true. So, in the midst of this, I know I showed you this before. It's the Commodore Sound Expander. Which I have never used. Sorry, it's the SFX FM Sound Module. But I am going to, at some point, explore and check it out. I don't know if I have all the instructions for it. But it does have a place for another cartridge in the top. I don't even know if I have everything I need to make it work. But I will find out. And also, while we're here, look. One of the bestest games ever for the VIC-20 Omega Race. You needed a VIC-20, you needed a monitor or a TV, and you needed paddles, not a joystick. So as you can see, this backup program, or process, facilitated by this program is slow. We have put our destination disk in. It is almost finished. It's going to ask for the original disk, which we will put in. And then the buffer is going to fill up again. Operator intervention. Insert source disk into drive. Right. Source disk. And I'm going to press the spacebar. Spacebar works too. Maybe it should say press any key. Of course, as many new users will say, where is the any key? So it is now filling the buffer again. It is. So let's see, anything changed back here? I did put another picture, drawing of me here, but then I looked at the frame, I didn't like it. These two fellows here, I'm afraid to move the picture. Anyway, that's my brother and I. We were part of a project about twins. And it can be seen on the internet, although it has shown in art galleries around the world. We were one of 8 pieces in this project. If you were to go onto your fine non-Commodore computer and Google Factum Bradley, F-A-C-T-U-M-B-R-A-D-L-E-Y, you will see us. And it is not just a picture, it is, let me think, perhaps an hour and 17 minutes long. And it is very insightful into the world of twins, and whether it's nurture or nature, and well, I could say more, but there's so much, and there are many others. There, as I said, there are 7 others, and one of them, one of the other 7 is triplets. So if you just search for Factum, F-A-C-T-U-M, you will probably find somewhere something of all of them. I think they're on Vimeo, or maybe you'll see them in your local art gallery. So, the buffer is almost full. So we, as the operator, are going to do an intervention. So we take the destination disk, and we put it in the drive, and the buffer will start to empty. Yes, as was the case way back when, copying a disk left you with much time to ponder. Because, well, you only have one drive, there's only so much memory in the machine, and the serial bus on the Commodore 64 is notoriously slow. That's why people came up with things like fast load. It's funny, I have not tried. I happen to have, although I don't really. Okay. I do not use fast load. Yet here I have this sort of banged up version. I am wondering, maybe I should try this sometime. I wonder if this copy process would work faster with fast load. Interesting. Perhaps I will try that. Not right now. So we are now almost ready to switch the discs, but not quite. Let's see what else we have here hanging around. We have, oh yes, this is the little X-Acto knife that I use to very carefully take some of the original logo plates off. Oh, wait, it's time for an operator intervention. We must take out the destination disk and put the source disk into the drive. And now the buffer will fill. Excuse me, one moment. Speaking of a cassette tape, look here is a cassette tape. This is what we used. This is what I started on when I was at school, Northern Secondary School. When I first saw a PET, this is what we had. There were no disk drives. You would do what you had to do. You would save it to the tape and have faith that it would be there. Although, I must say, the Commodore system, by the way, although this is blank, this did come, this is an old T-Pug tape from when we were on Avenue Road. Anyway, my friend, and I call him my friend hesitantly because he was always, he always walked to his own beat and his own drummer. He bought a TRS-80 when they first came out, even though I had said, don't do it, the PET is better, the PET is better, the PET is better. So the one nice thing about the PET cassette deck is there were no adjustments. There did not need to be. It was all set. It was all just in. You plug it in. Actually, I think I have one here. Aha. I do. Oh dear. I think it might be time for an operator intervention. Yes. We will insert the destination disk. So here we have one of the original Commodore tape decks. It has a plug. It goes into the cassette port, which is kind of a universal thing that was on the PET, the 64, the 128, not the SX64, the VIC-20. They all had this plug. They didn't change the plug. Maybe they did for the Commodore 16 and the Plus 4. Because remember, there was a different tape drive. But anyway, on most machines, even, yes, the Porsche style case machines, they had the same. So anyway, as you note, there are no volume controls, which is key to the TRS-80 story that I was telling, because we would go over, and this fellow had a pool table, so we would play pool. And way back when, there weren't many programs around. There wasn't much to do, so people would get magazines and type in programs from the magazines or books. So whoever lost at pool would type, and until somebody else lost, and then they would come type, and then we would save. But with the TRS-80, the tape deck had volume controls. And if it wasn't just set just right, the program would not save properly, and it would be lost, forever lost. So it was kind of a pain. Anyway, eventually we did tinker around and experiment, and we made sure it was set right, and he put a little sticky thing on it. Oh, what do we got? Oh, operator intervention. Back to the source disk. So he would take and make sure he had a little note close by as to exactly where the volume should be. And then we didn't have troubles with that. And then eventually he decided that he'd had enough of the TRS-80, otherwise known as Trash 80. And I said, great, what a great time to get a Commodore 64. So of course he bought an Apple II. And once again, there we were, typing in programs into his Apple II. Although it did have disk drives, and so we were not back to the tape drives era. We played a lot of pool. Which of course is probably why I'm standing in front of my pool table, which I have not played on for many years because, well, going back to my first video, I have too much stuff, and I'm trying to get it organized. But also, some of it I will pass on to other people, such as the Computer Museum, run by Sid Bolton in Brantford, Ontario. Anyway, I have much to go through, much to sort through, much to tinker with. Many 1541s with dirty heads to clean. But I tell you, someday, I'm going to get that Pac-Man disc to work. If you don't know what I'm talking about, oh, we're getting there. There was a disc from, I don't remember the company now, but it had Pac-Man on it. I played it once. I didn't get to play it while I was all set up to do, but I played. Ever since then, every time I run it or try to load, it makes the drive heads dirty, no matter what I do. So, I'm going to try and clean the disc. And oh, we're almost there. We're almost there. Insert destination disk into drive. So what am I going to do to clean it? Well, I'm going to slice the disc, not the disc, the sleeve, ever so carefully. I'm going to extract the disc, and then I'm going to wash it, ever so gently, probably much like I do with the tops of keys. I will probably very carefully give it a bath in gently warm water with a little dish soap, just a little. And then I'll probably let it soak a bit. And then I'll make sure I get all the soap off. And I'll rinse, and I'll rinse, and I'll rinse, and I'll rinse. And then I will see, depending on how badly I hurt the sleeve, which I'm hoping will not be. See, these things, they are secured in the back in many places. I'm thinking what I might do is take my, wait for it, X-Acto knife, and slice open the disc to get it out, and then I may be able to use the same sleeve to put it back. I might. I will see. I am hoping that this is the last pass, but I am not so sure. So, as you see, it was a slow, torturous process to copy a disc. But, compared to a tape drive, this was lightning speed. It was. So, we are almost time for an operator intervention. Almost. Time. I'm ready. Now, it could be finished. I don't know. Let's see what it says. It says, insert source disk. So we are not finished. So it is reading. It is reading. So yes, anyway, tapes were slow, these disk drives were much faster, and quite reliable. And this program was mighty helpful. I mean, oh wait. Oh, I thought we were done. Anyway, I mean, you could do the same sort of thing as what I described with the tape drive. You could load a program in and save it onto another disk, which was all fine and dandy. But then if there were other files like sequential files or data files or whatever, that was a whole other thing. So really, this program, as slow as it is, but remember, it's not the program's fault. There's only so much data that can go between the computer and the disk drive at a time. So this really was a great thing. And you know, back then, it didn't seem like that much time, because compared to what we've been using, it was fast. Lightning fast. It was. I've lost track of how many times we put the disc in. I think maybe this is the fourth. Maybe. Maybe. And it is still reading. It is. So, let's see. If I had have thought that you know what, I actually forgot this was going to take this long. Oh, look. Here is the nameplate from the Commodore 128. Anyway, if I thought this was going to take quite this long, I kind of forgot. And here is the nameplate from a Commodore 64. I would have oh, wait. It is time for an intervention. And after all this time, I think we could all use a little intervention. And in it goes. Writing data from buffer. And the buffer is going down. 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 If you bear with me for a moment, I think I have time. I could cut that disc open right now. It's just out of sight here. Actually, I have to go all the way around the pool table. Because the last time I threw it away, it landed on a chair. Well, there it has sat. So, I did think I might take scissors and sort of just snip off the end. But I think this is better. I just have to look and see where better. I think I'm going to go for the side. Right here. I can get the knife just under there ever so gently. Now, of course, I warn you, don't try this at home. I'm not even sure I should be doing this. So, I'm going to take the knife, stick it in the side of the disc, and try, well, I've got a little bit cut, maybe, if I just leave it in there, I can I'm being very careful not to touch the disc, of course. I can very carefully, it's not exactly going straight, but it is getting there. Okay, we're just down to okay, I gotta start from the other side. We're just down to the where are we? Executing. Insert source disk. Obviously we are not finished. I've lost track of how many passes. Maybe this is the fifth. Anyway, if I had to do this again, maybe I would have cut on the side that didn't have the right protecting. But mind you, you know how many times I've done this ever? Never! I've never had a disc like this. Do not put the knife pointing towards yourself. Do not snipe. Okay. Okay, I have made the first little cut here. Okay, I think I have cut it all the way down. So now, if that is the case, wait, it is time to insert the destination disk. This means, looking at the buffer, that this is the last pass. Alright, back to Pac-Man, made by Thunder Mountain. I had, okay, here is the disc. And I don't know if you can see this, but this side which is actually the business side or the back side of the disc. I'll try and hit it with a light a little. There are obvious signs of wear. Wait. We are being told to remove the destination disc from the drive. It is done! But is it done? Alright. I'm going to turn this off. And turn it back on. And then I am going to, yes, load, quote, $, quote, comma, 8. It is loading. And now I will list. And we will find that, yes, indeed, we have, and see the top, it says backup, and the ID is BK, and it looks like everything is there. It does. And 47 blocks free. Cool. Just for fun. Not that we're going to run it again. Let's load the backup program. I think that's what it was called. Oh, file not found. It was not called that. It was called, 1541 backup. Load. 1541. And it seems to be loading. And we will run. And the screen changes color. And we could do it all again. But we're not going to. You know what we're going to do now? Is I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this on. We'll finish up as we started. We'll load the directory. It is finished. Your list. This is the backup disk. Yes, it is. And what we're going to do is we're going to load list, comma 8. List asterisk, comma 8. Don't have to type the whole file name, which only runs into trouble if you have all the file names are the same. We're going to take our knife, very carefully put it back into our specially designed tool case, brought to us by Ziploc. So that is loading. And then, just to show you that this actually works, I'm going to type run. And then it will list. But that is not what we don't want to watch all that go down. I think maybe as we list, I'll just see, 1541 backup. Let's see. Maybe we'll run the check disk program next. Maybe. Oh, there's also copy things in here. Yes. Anyway, maybe we will experiment with other things on here. Maybe we'll check the disk, then we'll do some other copying of files, because you could do files. Anyway, so, but for the moment, we'll just let that go by, and as we're just about done today, we're going to clear the screen, move over here with the cursor keys and say That's where's the apostrophe? Ah, above the 7. That's all, folks. And then we're going to stop this recording ever so gently. It is not easy when it is so gingerly balanced. But we got it. So there, that is safe. And back to this disc. Now it's funny, all these lines and things, actually I see, it almost looks like the moon, or the rings of Saturn on this disc. That's right, the other side, oh, well they both have them. So I don't know if it's got hurt by a disk drive, or what it is, but you know what, I can also see there does appear to be some crud, like some discolorations and stuff. And I've heard that these discs can get like crud or mold or microscopic slime. So what I'm going to do now is, I thought I had a little bag around here, but I do not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this disc sleeve, I'm going to put this very carefully in here, and then, gee, and I wonder if I should reuse this or not. Maybe the slime is within it. Well, as the experiments continue, we'll see. So, but anyway, I'm going to take this downstairs, I'm going to put it in the bag, put it in warm water with dish soap, shake it around some, not hot water, not hot, warm, and let it soak a bit, and then very carefully get rid of the soap and carry on. So, that's it for now. Until we meet again. Go Jays, go. Okay, hello, so, I'm back. So, what we're going to first do is we're going to set up our iPod Touch for video. Very carefully set it up on our very magical pile of stuff, and then the most delicate point of all is to turn it on and get it situated. There it is situated. So, even though it says that's all, folks, we've just begun. So, we're going to turn that on. We're going to take our TPUG disk CU1 Commodore 64 Utilities 1, and we're going to put it in to 1541. And we're going to load the directory. Load, quote, $8. no, load, quote, $, quote, comma, 8. And then we will list. And there was a program I saw in here. Check disk. So we're going to load check asterisk. Almost shifted. I almost shifted again. And this, the disk we're going to check is the one we copied, the 1541 test, sorry, 1541, not test demo, the one we copied CU12. So now the check disk program is going off and doing things. One thing, I hear things. I'm not sure how it does this, or what it does, if it goes from program to program, or track to track, or da-da-da, I don't know. But it doesn't really show us much on the screen. But certainly it is working. I can hear the drive head going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Because that's what they do, those drive heads. The little stepper motor takes them from here to there, and there to here, and here and here to there. So, I kind of wish this was showing us more about what it was doing, but it isn't. So, be it. But it does make noise. So, update on Pac-Man. The Pac-Man disc is currently in a plastic bag. Yes, a Ziploc bag, which is carefully done up with the Ziploc. I put in not too much dish soap, but enough, and warm water from the tap, and I shook it some, and I'll let it soak. Because, you know, as I told you many times, I had it working, I had it running, and it looked pretty good. And Pac-Man is a classic game made, I'm sure, remade or redone by all kinds of people. So the check disk program is running. And just from the sounds it's making, I think it's going from file to file to file to file to file. Because it does seem to be doing that. But I could be wrong. So, wait. Oh, it's still spin. Oh. Checked blocks 1, track 15, sector 3. Are these things that are bad? I don't know. There are something like 664 blocks on the disk, so I really don't feel like sitting here for 664 blocks. I don't. But you know, back in those days, we had a lot of time on our hands. We did. But I don't think anybody has this much time.
I am your father.
Maybe these are the blocks that didn't have anything on them. This disk was pretty full. I'm just not sure. Certainly also we can tell this program was made to run on a VIC-20 or Commodore 64, I guess anything. Note that it is lined up very much sort of halfway on the screen. Because of course the 1541 disk drive was not just for the Commodore 64. It was used on the VIC-20, although they did have different versions for the VIC-20. Not that I think I have any right here. They did call the Vic 1541, and there was also the 1540. And I think the 1540, I think there was something had to be changed in it to actually have it work with the 64, I think. But then they came out with 1541, which worked with the 128, the 64, the VIC 20, the Commodore 64, the Commodore 128D. And maybe other things as well. So, we are checking the disk. We have checked 19 blocks of 664, but I cannot imagine that really it's checking them all one by one by one. But this was a handy thing to do way back when, because say you got some new disks and you formatted them, before you put your vital information on them, a lot of people would run this through to make sure, because sometimes disks have bad things. And I think the stores of the day, if you went in and said, yo, I got this, I formatted it and it was bad, they would replace it, I think. I don't think you had to go through the whole company thing. I don't remember. Long time. But also, if it did come up with something bad, you could also choose to reformat it or new it again. And that, too, could possibly sort it out. But most people, I think, just would either not use the disk, or certainly not use it for anything critical, or, even better, take it back to where you got it and get another one. So, I don't think this is going to do the whole... I think what it did is, I think it checked the places where the programs were, and now it's checking, I think, the places where they're not. But I'm not sure. There is the telephone. I, of course, am not going to answer it. But I certainly don't want to watch this forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. So let's see what we have. If only I'd known, I could have set up and maybe cleaned the heads of some drives while the Pac-Man disk is soaking. So, but if I was going to clean, I would need some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. It's funny, from reading the instructions on this bottle, you may have heard this already, I actually realized that rubbing alcohol is for rubbing onto sore places on your body to make them not hurt. I never knew. Topical antiseptic. Relieves muscle stiffness and soreness of sprains and bruises. Who knew? So this is continuing to check. I think maybe we had 40 some empty blocks. And just the way it's going, I think it's just checking the empty ones. But I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. So one of the things, look, a tape drive. I was going to try out something on the tape drive, because I have a cassette tape here, a T-Pug cassette tape, which actually it supposedly at one point was something called D4, but that's been scratched off. And I did search the tape drive and found nothing, or the tape and found nothing wrong. Nothing to be on this tape. It is completely blank. And I was going to save one of my little torture programs using it as an example, but you see the little tabs, much like the notch on a disc, they've been punched out, so I can't write to this tape. And I was going to look for one of the little disc protector things or some tape to put over that, and of course I forgot. So, but at some point we will experiment with a cassette tape, perhaps this one. So, that is running, that is testing. Another thing is I look down at this Commodore 64, I see that I have a joystick plugged in. Remember, if you have a joystick plugged in, I think into port number 1, it can interfere with the keyboard. Be careful. Don't just immediately think, oh my god, my machine is broken. If something is pushing the fire button or it's to one side or the other, that can affect it. So the things will not type right. So we're now up to 38 blocks, and I think maybe, hopefully, it's almost done. If it's not, then maybe we'll let it sit here and do something else. Go Jays go. We're now at 40. So what else do we have behind us? Well, that's a fine question. Remember, a watch disk drive never boils. There's another picture of a bird I took, very carefully framed. It was sitting on, I think, the pole that held the bird feeder in the rain. This is Darryl Sittler. This is a picture of him scoring I think just after he scored one of the goals on excuse me, on February 7th, 1976. He had 10 points in one game. I don't think that goalie ever played again. Maybe that goalie never should have played at all. So, this is continuing to check the disc. Oh my. I don't remember how many blocks were free. See, it did a whole lot of running around before. But maybe it's coming to an end. I don't know. I suppose what I could do to see how much time is involved in this, because if it's going to keep going like this for another 620 some blocks, we're moving on. What I think I'll do is I'll go over here, just where you can't see me for a second, and I will take the original disc and I will put it into a 4040 disk drive and turn on the 8296 that it's plugged into and see how many blocks are free. Because I think this was maybe something that people did, and they certainly didn't sit and watch these numbers crawl by. I think this might have been something before bed. Anyway, I'm going to go over here. I'm going to turn on the 8296. There's that magical sound. I'm going to turn on 4040. There's that magical sound. And I'm going to type in catalog. And up comes the directory. And there are 47 blocks free. And now this is at 52. Which means we're not carrying on with this. I'm going to do something. There is this magical key called run stop. I'm going to press it. Uh-oh. It's not stopping. I'm holding it down. Okay. And we have break in 100. So I'm sure nothing will be hurt. Well, I'm not sure, but it's a backup disk. And we're going to load the directory, make sure it's okay, which I'm sure it is. Okay, it is. So, for this moment, I'm just going to move down and say, we are done. That shows you that if you are going to run this program to check out your disk, it's a good thing, but do it before bed. So, we're going to stop. Oh, we're low battery. We're going to stop recording. That was exciting. And we'll get a charge on this. And I'm going to go check on the Pac-Man disk, and we will see you again.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
So true. So true. Bye. Hello. David Bradley here. Just going to turn things on here. Namely, Commodore 64, 1701 monitor, 1541 disk drive. And then I will get our secondary recording device connected. Not connected, but ready. Although it is not time to record yet. But soon. Soon it will be time to record, for I have the long saga of the Pac-Man game. Is perhaps about to be resolved. If you remember, I cut this sleeve open. Sleeve. Well, I did. Aha! There it is. I cut the sleeve open. No, Sheldon, not now. I really can't drop this disc. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this recording. And also, here, very carefully, I have the disc. It has been washed in warm water with dish soap. It has been dried. Sorry, it was rinsed about 5 or 6 times, and then it was dried. Hi, Sheldon. I guess Sheldon wants to see this. Now, Sheldon, you stay right there. Sheldon, you stay right there. I must remember which side was which. I believe this was the downside. the marks that were on there before are still there. So I'm going to reinsert this very carefully, somewhat carefully, into the sleeve that it came out of. And there it is. Now, if you remember the saga, Sheldon, every time I put this disc in the disk drive, the head gets dirty, and the disc won't read. Sheldon, we gotta do some work here. We gotta test this disc. Yes, we do. We're gonna find a better place for you to sit. But right now, Sheldon, I gotta test this disc. So there you go. Okay, so the disc is in the drive. It has been cleaned, sanitized. Hi, Sheldon, thank you. And let's see what happens. Go! The directory has loaded. Okay. So now, I will do, as most games like this want, I will load, quote, asterisk, quote, comma 8, comma 1, and I will hit return. Oh, I see the drive light flashing a little bit. Oh dear. Well, it has stopped spinning. And it is flashing. I have a bad feeling. Oh, the directory loads. Okay, I'm going to reset everything. And I'm going to try again. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh dear. Well, we have some success in that. It does not dirty the disk drive anymore, but it still won't. I'm going to try loading this pack 1, which I know will make no difference. No. Start fresh. Start again. I'm going to take this disk out. Just for a moment, have a look. Looks okay, looks centered. I'm going to load pack in, quote, comma, 8, comma, 1. And the drive is flashing. Now it will probably grind. It grinds. And it flashes. Well, I will put that here. I'll let it sit a while longer, but at least if I take the backup copy of the TPUG disk CU1, it'll load. So the disk is clean, but it still won't work. Oh, I had such high hopes. It worked! I wish I'd recorded it. Well, one thing maybe while we're here is maybe we'll load copy file. And see what that does. It's a very short program. Let's run it. File type. Oh, well, it's a program. File. Oh. This is very basic. Copy. I think this is what the name was. It might not be. Other disk ready. Yes. And of course it's flashing. Okay, this is a very, very, very simple program. Very simple. Because it expects you to know most everything. But I guess sometimes we do. Let me just see. I would really not. I'm not just sure I have another scratch disk around. Of course, what I could do. Now, I've lost my original disk. No, I'm not. I've got it in the drive over here. Just a second. Okay. Actually, what I have here is another disk that I think is blank. Maybe not. Oh no, it's got stuff on it, but we could use this one. Okay. So, to copy one file, I guess, remember I said about if you have to copy sequential file or whatever, this would be not good. I'm going to load. First, load. No. I'm going to load the directory. This is, of course, a TPUG disk CU1. It's a big directory. Then I'm going to load copy file dot 8. There we go, C, comma 8. Okay. So, this is a very basic thing. Want one file. You gotta know the name, you gotta know what type it is. Type, program. And it is exactly copy space file dot C. Oh, I put a quote. Oh dear. Okay, so I'm gonna run again. Program. Copy. File. Dot C. Other disk ready. It is. And now I'm gonna put it in. Yes. Okay, so without much fanfare and without much feedback, I'm told that that program, which was not on this disk, could now be on this disk. And look, right at the bottom, there it is. So that is a very, very, very simple program for copying one single file. I don't know what it does if it's a really big file. But anyway, it did work. And that program was on the TPUG Utilitas CU1. Very basic, very, very basic. Anyway, just before we finish, I'm going to take Pac-Man and put it back in. Maybe something different will. Oh dear. File not found. Now it's finding it. It's a shame because it may be that the problem on the disk is actually, they usually have this sort of big intro thing. And, it's spinning. Although I don't hear much head movement, it's spinning and it's not giving us the error. Could it be? Could it be working? Or could it be dead? Could it be stuck? I don't know. But it's still spinning. Oftentimes, when something is spinning, it's a good sign. But it could be that it's all locked up. Oh, break. Well, you know what? As there is still hope, I'm going to turn everything off. I'm going to turn everything on. I always do that because you never know. The program before might have done something that it needed to do that might have got things squirrely. So I'm going to try again. Oh, it is flashing. Now, see, flashing is not necessarily a bad thing because oftentimes things have some sort of protection on them. And if they didn't find an error in a certain spot, they wouldn't go. But this, oh! Well, that looks like their great logo that didn't load. And then I went to hit the run stop key, and it didn't stop. It loaded. It's doing something. The screen is... Oh my god! It's Pac-Man! One-player game. Press F3 for two-player game. Press F5 for difficulty. Press F1 to play the game. Now, as it happens... Oh my golly, I never thought. So the problem... The error is in their pretty screen. Okay, so I have a joystick. I'm not sure I'm ready for this. Well, I'm going to press F1. Now, I don't know. Oh yeah, I've got the stick in the right place. So now, as you know, we chase these suckers down. And we get points. It's a miracle. Now, we also have to get these little dot things. Come on, come on, come on. To clear the level. And I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm not dead. See, if I was playing this on the Commodore joystick, I would have been dead long ago. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go. Now I'm gonna get that sucker. And I'm gonna get this one. Oh no. I guess I go a little bit faster than them. Oh. But I'm not that great on the joystick. Okay. I'm away. Oh man. Okay, now. I think they're getting angry. And I'm dead. Okay, I'm going to try and finish this level. They seem, I think, to be moving a little faster. And look, wait, the only thing I have to do now is get that little dot up in the top. That's all I gotta do. Ah! I should have got that before. Okay. I'm gonna run. Okay, so I'm through that level. Okay, it seems there are things that it does in the midst of it. I pressed F1, it started all over again. So guess what? We got Pac-Man working. Isn't that magical? So right now, I wonder if there's just a way for it to... Oh yeah, now when I press the F5, see, I don't know what the toughest level is. And also, why is this part in black and white? I think this might be the fastest level. I'm not sure. Well, they sure look like they're moving fast. Oh, dear. I should have gone over. Anyway, I think for the moment, I'm going to rejoice. I think, because I didn't think this would ever work. So, it seems that if you have an old disk that does nothing but dirty up the heads of your disk drive, there is hope. So if you remember the procedure, I took my X-Acto knife, I sliced the sleeve open, I carefully extracted the disk, then I took it down to the basement, put it in a Ziploc bag, put the water in, which was warm from the tap, not beastly hot, because it might melt it. I think I used some Dawn dishwashing soap, and I shook it vigorously for some time, maybe a minute or so. Then I let it sit for a while. I went off and did something else. I came back, and then I rinsed it 5 or 6 times, putting stuff in the bag, dumping it out, and then I took the disc, hung it ever so delicately from the middle on an electric toothbrush, turned on a fan which was not blowing directly on it so it not hurt it and wave it all crazy, but that's to speed up the process. And when it was all done, the game works. Now the demo, or the cute little screen from Thunder Mountain didn't work. So I wonder if, I don't know if there's built-in flaws on this disc. Maybe now I'm brave enough to try and copy it, and maybe, because I think Thunder Mountain puts that same thing under a different name, probably just their little screen that impresses people to say, look, we have a pretty screen that we put up. Maybe, possibly, I can make a good, I can restore this and get it working and get a good copy. Maybe not. Anyway, I told you it worked, and there it is. It is Pac-Man. Maybe we'll play some later. Boy, those suckers do move. Go, run! I will wait for them. And then I shall bite! And I shall run! Run. Although, I don't think I'm going to get many of them. One thing for sure, though. Oh, no, that does not last long at all. I must make sure. Oh, dear. Oh! I must make sure I don't die, which I died. Oh, well, we'll play more of this another time. People tell me that there are ways to predict everything that they're going to do. Oh, man, that is fast. I'm dead again. Game over. Well, but it works. So, enough for now. We will explore further as the Pac-Man saga continues. Thank you for being here. We will meet again. Wow. Hello, David Bradley here. Fresh off a great victory. Did I win and do wonderful things while playing Pac-Man? No, I did not. But I was able to rescue the disc that would not work. I was. So, oh dear. Why is that not sitting nice? So we're going to get, no we're not. We're going to get that recording. And we're going to just test. Oops. Gonna load the directory, which does load. Aha! So there is the file Thunder. I think that is the daemon file that has the error. Now, I do not have another disk right handy that I might be able to get that from. And it's funny, you see, they've done funny things. See, if you look here, Pac-Man is one block, Pac-1 is 1, and then Pac-2, which is probably the game, is 0 blocks. So it's there, but it's hidden. So, and are there errors on the disk? Well, obviously there are, because it won't work. But anyway, oops. Oh, if you have the shift block down, you will get things that look like this instead of load. And guess what? It won't work. We will load. Oops. And if you put in 98 instead of 8, it won't work. And if you put in a period instead of a comma, it won't work. It has to be just so. So I'm going to load, quote, asterisk, quote, comma, 8, comma 1. And the drive starts to flash. And it will chatter. And it flashes. And see, sometimes flashing is not a bad thing, but when it flashes and stops, it is not a good thing. So I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to hit the run stop key. And then we'll see a not very good version of the Thunder Mountain logo. The Thunder Mountain logo was quite impressive. It's not there right now. So, what I'm going to do, by the way, here I am. I have a Wico, W-I-C-O joystick. The bestest joystick ever. And here is Pac-Man. So we're going to go for a one-player game. I guess it's on the lowest difficulty. I don't know. Press F1 to play the game. F5 change difficulty. F3 I wonder what F7 does. Why do I wonder? Just because it isn't listed. Probably it doesn't do anything. Anyway, I am not a pro. I'm not. But I'm going to try and make it through this level as best as I can. So, I'm going to press F1. And away we go. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go around. The secret, I find, is to move efficiently. I'm going to try and get as many of those dots as I can before this one, I have to do this. And then, none of the other little guys are around. Oh my, that one's coming out though. I was going to go down there and try and get that guy. The one nice thing is here, you can go to the other side. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to wait, and they're not coming. So, maybe they're not coming because they know I'm ready to pounce. I would like to go over here and get these, but now they're going to come get me. Okay, pounce time. Oh, no! Ah! Okay, that didn't go well. Okay, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to get those guys. I'm going to go around here. I'm going to get these guys. Oh, there's a bonus thing. Alright, I'm going to sit here again. I'm not going to get munched. I'm going to get him. 1, 2. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get the third. Okay, I might have stretched it out to get the other one. I don't know. I think the biggest thing is you got to hold your wits. Because I think I am a little bit faster than they. It's all about controlling the stick right. And I'm not going to worry right now about getting those guys, even though that is the name of the game. They do seem to be going faster though. Ah! Oh, well that was cool. So I got the level by getting the last thing, which meant that I didn't get to eat them, which I was ready to do. Oh no! Oh! You know, I never was that good at this. But above all, when you're somewhere you are, get the dots. Okay, there's one. There's a bonus thing. I can get those guys. Okay, the bonus thing is gone. But I'm going to get more dots. And I'm going to die. No, I didn't die. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. But as you see, I'm leaving a lot of damage around and that there are dots. I missed a bonus thing. There are a lot of dots I didn't get. Oh, they're coming to get me. Okay, I'll get you then. I'm not going to get the last guy. Okay, now, things seem to be moving faster. And that red guy is coming in the side. And he's coming down. So I got to deke him out. Ah! Okay, there's still hope. So I think what I'm going to do is go over here go over here to try and get these guys, which I'm not going to get. Ah! And I'm going to clear the level. Okay. A new level. Joy. I'm really going to try and be efficient at getting the dots and getting the ghosts. Oh, they are much faster now. I am not going to get that ghost. But I am going to get these dots. I think somehow trouble is lurking. Oh, there's a bonus thing. I don't think I can get there though, but I can get here. Ah! I am screwed. Oh. Ah! Well, I got a couple of bonus things. Am I over? Am I dead? I'm over. But there, Pac-Man lives. So now, well, it sort of lives. As I said, I am going to try and fix this disc. How? Well, that is going to be an interesting thing. I may end up using the 4040 drive, which copies tracks and sectors. It doesn't care about files. But I know it's going to encounter that error somewhere. I will have to think about this. But anyway, the long and the short of it is Pac-Man. The disc that I threw twice into the sky. Now works. And I am finding that that little slice really doesn't seem to hurt anything. So I'm going to carefully put this back on top of there. And I will see you again. You right here, Andrew? Yeah. Yay, Andrew.
I'm hungry.
Yes, I would bet. Me too. I've been waiting for you to get up. Okay, Andrew.
Yeah.
Just watch. I got wires, things all over.
For a TV show?
Well, there's stuff. Hello, David Bradley here. Fresh off a great victory. Did I win and do wonderful things while playing Pac-Man? No, I did not. But I was able to rescue the disc that would not work. I was. So, oh dear. Why is that not sitting nice? So we're going to get, no we're not. We're going to get that recording. And we're going to just test. Oops. Gonna load the directory, which does load. Aha! So there is the file Thunder. I think that is the daemon file that has the error. Now, I do not have another disk right handy that I might be able to get that from. And it's funny, you see, they've done funny things. See, if you look here, Pac-Man is 1 block, Pac-1 is 1, and then Pac-2, which is probably the game, is 0 blocks. So it's there, but it's hidden. So, and are there errors on the disk? Well, obviously there are, because it won't work. But anyway, oops. Oh, if you have the shift block down, you will get things that look like this instead of load. And guess what? It won't work. We will load. Oops. And if you put in 98 instead of 8, it won't work. And if you put in a period instead of a comma, it won't work. It has to be just so. So I'm going to load, quote, asterisk, quote, comma, 8, comma 1. And the drive starts to flash. And it will chatter. And it flashes. And see, sometimes flashing is not a bad thing, but when it flashes and stops, it is not a good thing. So I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to hit the run stop key. And then we'll see a not very good version of the Thunder Mountain logo. The Thunder Mountain logo was quite impressive. It's not there right now. So, what I'm going to do, by the way, here I am. I have a Wico, W-I-C-O joystick. The bestest joystick ever. And here is Pac-Man. So we're going to go for a 1-player game. I guess it's on the lowest difficulty. I don't know. Press F1 to play the game. F5 change difficulty. F3 I wonder what F7 does. Why do I wonder? Just because it isn't listed. Probably it doesn't do anything. Anyway, I am not a pro. I'm not. But I'm going to try and make it through this level as best as I can. So, I'm going to press F1. And away we go. I'm going to go down. I'm going to go around. The secret, I find, is to move efficiently. I'm going to try and get as many of those dots as I can before this one, I have to do this. And then, none of the other little guys are around. Oh my, that one's coming out though. I was going to go down there and try and get that guy. The one nice thing is here, you can go to the other side. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to wait, and they're not coming. So, maybe they're not coming because they know I'm ready to pounce. I would like to go over here and get these, but now they're going to come get me. Okay, pounce time. Oh, no! Ah! Okay, that didn't go well. Okay, I'm going to go up, and I'm going to get those guys. I'm going to go around here. I'm going to get these guys. Oh, there's a bonus thing. Alright, I'm going to sit here again. I'm not going to get munched. I'm going to get him. 1. 2. Oh, I don't think I'm going to get the 3rd. Okay, I might have stretched it out to get the other one. I don't know. I think the biggest thing is you got to hold your wits. Because I think I am a little bit faster than they. It's all about controlling the stick rate. And I'm not going to worry right now about getting those guys, even though that is the name of the game. They do seem to be going faster though. Ah! Oh, well that was cool. So I got the level by getting the last thing, which meant that I didn't get to eat them, which I was ready to do. Oh no! Oh! Oh! You know, I never was that good at this. But above all, when you're somewhere you are, get the dots. Okay, there's one. There's a bonus thing I can get those guys. Okay, the bonus thing is gone. But I'm gonna get more dots. And I'm gonna die. No, I didn't die. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. But as you see, I'm leaving a lot of damage around and that there are dots. I missed a bonus thing. There are a lot of dots I didn't get. Oh, they're coming to get me. Okay, I'll get you then. I'm not going to get the last guy. Okay, now, things seem to be moving faster. And that red guy is coming in the side. And he's coming down. So I gotta deke him out. Ah! Okay, there's still hope. So I think what I'm gonna do is go over here to try and get these guys, which I'm not gonna get. Ah! And I'm gonna clear the level. Okay. A new level. Joy. I'm really going to try and be efficient at getting the dots and getting the ghosts. Oh, they are much faster now. I am not going to get that ghost. But I am going to get these dots. I think somehow trouble is lurking. Oh, there's a bonus thing. I don't think I can get there though, but I can get here. Ah! I am screwed. Oh. Ah! Well, I got a couple of bonus things. Am I over? Am I dead? I'm over. But there, Pac-Man lives. So now, well, it sort of lives. As I said, I am going to try and fix this disc. How? Well, that is going to be an interesting thing. I may end up using the 4040 drive, which copies tracks and sectors. It doesn't care about files. But I know it's going to encounter that error somewhere. I will have to think about this. But anyway, the long and the short of it is Pac-Man, the disc that I threw twice into the sky. Now it works. And I am finding that that little slice really doesn't seem to hurt anything. So I'm going to carefully put this back on top of there. And I will see you again. Do I hear Andrew? Yeah. Yay, Andrew. Oh.
I'm hungry.
Yes, I would bet. Me too. I've been waiting for you to get up. Okay, Andrew.